Freedom of speech is a part of my job as a public health researcher and a scientist to preach about freedom of speech. However, there's limitation when it comes to freedom of speech. Take, for example, this guy. His speech was a speech of hate, a speech of disrespect, and a speech of chaos. A lot of people lost their jobs, a lot of people got hurt. Um, his speech was more to reject Islam. What he did is he took the holy book of Islam and he burned it down to the ground. Now, in order for him to do that, he had to reject Christianity and claim that he's an atheist because he knows better. Second, he was claiming that he's a philosopher. What kind of philosopher that burns book and fight books and comes to the media with the cigars on? Now, to continue with this trend, you have Zakaria Putras, you got Neil, and you got Zakir. Those figures are actually a little bit different. They're slightly different. Those figures are within the top 10%. They're highly educated and they know exactly what they're doing. For instance, you got this Christian guy. His church has to dishonor him for him to do hate and reject against a religion, the Islamic religion. What he does, he knows Arabic down to score. He knows what the lingual language is, and he knows what the advanced language. And he takes a word, he translates it, he put it into a sentence, so public will understand what he's trying to talk. And then he would put it in the holy book and say, "Aha, this is what it's trying to tell you, and this is what it's saying." And he keeps on this pattern. This scientist, what he's trying to do, he keeps on telling you there's no God, no God, no God. This guy is a Muslim guy, and he's trying to tell us that the holy book of Christianity is wrong, and there's typo, typo, typo. Now, what I have discovered actually, between all of those, there's only one common goal, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the believing. They're trying to make you a disbeliever. They're all trying to make you a disbeliever. That's all. That is all going on with it. Now, there's about 10,000 religion in the world. And for us to talk about each other, we are the mono religion. That is actually, they will mock us. They will laugh at us. So it doesn't make sense for us to talk about each other. That's for one. Second, let's say there is an atheist guy and he doesn't know God, or somebody who's a non-believer, doesn't have to be an atheist. He's trying to, and this atheist guy is trying to be a Christian. Um, Christianity is not an easy. It's very hardcore. You don't just say I'm gonna be Christian and you become a Christian. In fact, Jesus Christ said, "Not everybody who says Lord, Lord, even if they cast demons under my name, they will not enter the kingdom of heaven." So it's not good. It's not just about being good or not. It's a whole religion, and you have to be completely believe in it, and you have to completely focus and study and and meditate that religion in order for you to understand what Christianity is about, and the theology about the Christianity, as well as Judaism. It's basically the same. It's the only difference is they have not believed that Jesus Christ have came already, and they're waiting for him to come again. So that's the only difference. They also have the Kabbalah. They also have believe in the highest soul. So both religions is really about the same. In fact, we do have the Old Testaments, and we do it's we basically believe on both sides as well. Now, if we look down into Islam, now Islam, with couple words you can become Muslims. With one address, you all gonna look the same. In my opinion, the easiest of somebody who is completely disconnected and completely lost, and could not find his spirit with Jesus Christ, and he could not find his spirit with Judaism. In my opinion, Islam is the easiest. Couple words and you become in it, um, and you become Muslims. So let's say those three atheists just became Muslim 2 minutes ago, and this guy, took a verse about music, and he thinks music is really negative and it's really bad, and He goes in and blow a radio stations. Um, versus this guy saying, no, music is fine, music is nice, I love music. And, he just becomes a scholar. And this guy is neutral about it. He doesn't care if it's this way or that way. Which one, in your opinion, is the better one? You think the negative one is the better one, the one that said, you know, see people going on the street and saying Jesus said dance, 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 and dress up all demonics, or the scholar one, that is very high educated with the suit and is telling you yes, the music is fine, music is nice, or the neutral one, the one that doesn't care about this side or this side? Which one do you think is the best? Actually, Islam did not ask for them to be this way or the other way. Islam wanted them all to connect together, all the way to the Abrahamic religions and Christianity, all the way to Adam and Eve. Now, our Messiah, Jesus Christ, he did not come in to establish a religion. He came in to make people believers. And he also goes all the way to Adam and Eve, as well as Judaism. They also goes Adam and Eve. In fact, at Jesus' time, there used to be a lot of philosophers that they come up and make their own religion, and they combine it all with the law and philosophy and all other topics with history, and they just make it as one. And other fact as well, Judaism are called God's chosen people because they're made by God, not because they have feather on their heads. It's because they're made by God. Judaism came in from Adam and Eve. Now you might wonder, what does this all has to do with each other, and how is it all connected? Well, because Adam and Eve are God's made people. The other evolutions has nothing to do with God's creations. For example, if from a single cell a human are made, or from cloning a human are made, they're from evolution, they're from the lab, they're hyper evolutionized, and they have nothing to do with God's creations. Therefore, Adam and Eve and evolutions are complete discrete. They're not attached to each other. It has nothing to do with each other. If a fish came from a fish or a single cell and became a human, it has nothing to do with Adam and Eve, God's creation people. That's why all religions are referring to Adam and Eve, and evolutions are separate. It has nothing to do with Adam and Eve. The fish came to a human, or even the contaminations from this way or the other way. It has nothing to do with God's creation. So evolutions and Adam and Eve, they're complete discrete. They have nothing to do with each other. Now, to zoom on this scientist a little more, he keeps claiming that there's no God, no God. With all the technology, the MRI, the MRA, CT scan, PET scans, X-ray, with all this technology in all those years, just last week they discovered there's a whole gland right into our face. They haven't even discovered 10% of the oceans yet, and he's keep claims there's no God, no God, to confuse people and to make people disbelievers, just like all the other ones. So now we have to understand the difference between belief and knowledge. I'll give you a knowledgeable example. Look at this cascade. We see the water drops, and if we wanted to count the accelerations and velocity and the gravity of this, and we sit on the side and we count all those water drops, we can count them when we can come up to a result and say this is the result. However, this result means really nothing. We have not completely and accurately counted every single details. For example, we do not count the electromagnetic fields. We did not account all the creatures that is going on in the water. We did not count the biofilaments, and for there's a lot of calculation that we have missed when we go from knowledge to belief. But when you go the other way, when you believe and then we go to knowledge, that's a complete different equations. Therefore, to conclude this topic, knowledge and science have endless limitation, possibility, and potential. However, it slaves us to depend on them. If we rely on knowledge and science alone, we would be stuck and trapped with depression, anxiety, confusion, fear, and conflicts with our own thoughts. Heuristic knowledge will attack itself. Since childhood, all I wanted to do is to be knowledgeable. Later in life, I vomited and prayed to God to dismantle my knowledge. do for me being shaky, murky believers. In fact, I've noticed through research and science, every single study it has an exceptions and incomplete side of a branch that turns me to square one. And instead, solidify your belief and add knowledge later on. Looking at the mono religions, if I wanted to look at them through a lens of knowledge, they will all sound superstitious, you know. Instead, I have to solidify my belief and then go later on. So if I go through the other direction from belief to knowledge, then I would be filled with joy and happiness. In fact, Jesus Christ said, if you have even a small muster of seeds, you could say this mountain to move from this side to another, it will move. Nothing would be impossible. So I urge you to compel yourself to believe. Believe first and then add knowledge later on. Looking at those figures, I honestly look at all of them, study all of them, reject all of them, accept all of them, and laugh at all of them. Now, I'm a Christian. How dare do I speak about this Christian guy? You know, I dare you if this guy took all his energy and went somewhere completely different and he learned their own language and tried to make people believers, he would have probably done a 10 times better job than expressing hate or revenge to another religion. For first. Second, if you look at this guy, it's the same well. If he became some kind of scientist, with his memorizing. I wish if I have his kind of brain to memorize all the chapters and every single verse in a Christianity in the Bible. If he became some kind of scientist, we'd have probably been in a better position right now. So who are you to judge that this is God's religion and this is not God's religions? Who are you to make that decisions? If God saw evil, he would destroy it, just like he did at Noah's time. And instead, our Lord cuts through the darkness and inspire the lights. He doesn't need you to do that decision. If everything is light, you won't be able to comprehend the darkness in this illusional world. It would be difficult to compare and contrast. I've been through society where they are 90% Christian. I will tell you straight up, it is awful and they're super unbelievers. There's no tug of war rope, which is a clear illustrations of that triangle behind me. You express love and love only. We don't have hate, we don't have revenge. Those figures, they insist passionately to erase the idea of God from your brain, just in a different way. One of them saying a Christian is better, and the other one saying Islam is better, and the other one is saying there's no God, and one is disrespecting. All of those figures are trying to erase the idea of God from your brain to make you a non-believer in the other word. Now, of course, I'm a Christian. I'm going to tell you to come and join Christianity. But how come you can join a Christianity where Jesus Christ said, even if you cast demons under my name and you follow me and you say, Lord, Lord, you will still, I will still don't know you and I will say, depart from me. I mean, look at science and look at an AI. You know, they're trying to heal you. They're trying to benefit you in order to make you a non-believer, in order to make you rely on them. Take, for example, the nanorobots. You know, they will enter into your body. They will clean your teeth. They will. You don't have to do an open surgery anymore. You know, and they go on and go on and go on until they dormant into your body, and until you completely rely on them, until you completely give up and just follow their orders. So if you're completely lost and you just wanted a religion, you wanted to know God, I urge you to believe in one of the mono religions. Please, I would beg you, because just believe that any of those religions, they're trying to make your soul um, to the ancestor of Adam and Eve and to God. There's other powers they're trying to take over you. Just know that there's other powers they're trying to take over you. So even if you're believers, you have to just like Islam and Christianity and Judaism, they all trying to lead you to Adam and Eve and God's creations and to make you a truly believer. And because there's other powers that might take over you. To conclude this mouthful concepts, You are no one to judge God's work. Belief comes first and knowledge will follow. Scientists have failed to attack God and have failed miserably. Evolution has nothing to do with God creations. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed these concepts, and I'll see you on the next one.